on to anti-nationwide moves. I am Femi Johnson. Thanks for joining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has given the new service chiefs 3 months within which to bring to an end the Boko Haram insurgency in parts of the country. Given the ultimate while decorating them with their new ranks, the President said government is prepared to give the needed resources towards achieving the desired objectives. State House correspondent Abuja has details.
The new service chiefs decorated with their new ranks were appointed exactly 1 month ago by the President, which according to him, based on their pedigree as first-class senior officers with identified sterling leadership qualities. They include the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Gabriel Olonishakin, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Botai, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Eke Ibas, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. President Muhammadu Buhari said although the armed forces have done their best so far in the fight against Boko Haram, a lot more needs to be done in view of the increasing incidents of unwanted destruction of lives and property of citizens, as well as the disruption of socio-economic activities.
We need to brace up and continue to team up with other stakeholders to come up with a well-coordinated joint effort which will bring a desired end to this insurgency in 3 months.
The President said his efforts at mobilizing global support in eliminating insurgency, including the establishment of the multinational joint task force, must be complemented by the armed forces. He however said in doing so, the service chiefs must be accountable for all men and equipment placed under their care.
Your troops' welfare should be uppermost in your mind. Take care of them and make available what is due to them. Concerted efforts should also be made to make judicial use of resources that are available to you in search for solutions to these challenges. On our own part, we should be ready to give the needed resources to achieve this feat.
President Buhari also called for the reprofessionalization of the forces by giving the troops quality training to enable them to perform creditably. Responding on behalf of the service chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Abayomi Olonishakin, thanked the President for the confidence reposed in them and promised that they will not betray it.
The message for Nigerians is that we are on board and that we will strategize to ensure that the issue of Boko Haram is put to the past and all the knowledge is dealt with appropriately.
Get back to work and make Nigerians proud.
Get back to work and make Nigerians proud was the final marching order by President Muhammadu Buhari to the new service chiefs. But he equally told them to protect innocent civilians in the theaters of conflict and respect the rights of combatants once they are captured. This is to enable them and the support of local communities and respect of the nation's allies. From the State House, Abuja, NTA News.
And in line with this policy of re-strategizing the fight against insurgency in the country, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has deployed additional aircraft to the 75 Strike Group Nigerian Air Force in Yola. This is to complement the services of the existing Alpha jets and also to channel a more proactive way of ending insurgency. Brigadier Daniel completes the story.
This is the arrival of the 10 additional platforms of aircraft at the Nigerian Air Force Base Yola. Among them are F-7NI fighter aircraft, combat patrol and attack helicopters, ATR-42 surveillance aircraft, among others. Presenting the aircraft to the 75 Strike Group Nigerian Air Force Yola, Commander 64 Air Defense Group Makurdi Air Commodore Muhammad Adamu Idris says the deployment is in line with the directives of the Chief of Air Staff on the need to continue the fight against insurgency.
We have achieved some degree of success from the 2 months back, and so far the president of the view that the need for continuity.
Commander 75 Strike Group Yola, who is also the Air Component Commander Operation Latia Dole, Air Commodore Dayo Amao expressed optimism that the additional resources will bring about the desired change and assured that insurgency will soon be relegated to the pages of history.
We are here, and so with the parents of this club,
This, he said, goals will be achieved by the combined effort of the Nigerian Air Force and the Army. In Yola, Godia Daniel, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as the federal government intensifies efforts to flush out terrorists in the northeast region, internally displaced persons have commended the Nigerian Air Force for attending to their health challenges. They are speaking in Abuja, a military camp in Kuje area council. Joseph Arok also completes the report.
For the second time within the month, the authorities of the Nigerian Air Force were at the IDP camps to offer medical assistance to the IDPs who fled their ravaged community to rent apartments in Pegi, Kuje area council of Abuja.
The cases that we are actually treating include things like malaria, enteric fever, all these parasitic infections, as you can see, including those children that are actually infected with worms. Cases that probably cannot be handled there, of course, we take them to 108 for continuous, and we ensure that they get the best of services.
The early morning rains could not stop the over 1,000 internally displaced persons who turned out to benefit from the free service as they expressed appreciation to Nigerians for assisting them.
They provided some mosquito net which we are using, and it really helped the contribution of malaria and other things. So we really thank the Nigerian Air Force.
They attend to me very well. They even give me medical gloves for reading because I was not able to read even my Bible, but actually they give me a glass and now I'm very comfortable.
If the government can help us to reduce the money that we rented house can help us.
Apart from the bi-monthly medical outreach as undertaken in this case, the Nigerian Air Force also responds to distress medical calls from the internally displaced persons in various camps. In Abuja, Joseph Orok, NTA News.
I will move to transport sector where the viability of re-establishing a national carrier in the Nigerian aviation sector was the cause of discourse on NTA's breakfast program, Good Morning Nigeria, earlier today. Guests insist that the federal government should put in place an optimum operational environment for such airline to thrive. Abdulmalik Adio monitored the program.
Nigeria loses $2 billion every year owing to the absence of an existing national carrier, which makes a huge capital flight abroad, thus subjecting the country to no voice in the policy articulation with regard to the aviation matter in Africa. One of the problems we face in this country is the management structure of our airline. Number two is the single ownership. Who owns the airline? Is it the country? Is it some people who put themselves together? Policy for me is the first thing we need to look at to address. How do you set up a national carrier? For me, we have airlines that the government has put taxpayers' money into, about $1.2 billion of Nigeria's money. It's about 5 different airlines. That itself is a distortion in the market. And why is that the case? The reason is very simple. Funding of airlines in Nigeria is like using bad money for good business. Speaking about government equity participation, the discussion expressed that no less than 20% ownership should be created by the government to allow for joint ownership. The government needs to do is to provide what we call the enabling environment and the right policies to ensure that we can grow the national carrier from the perspective of what is the objective of government. What do you want to achieve as a government? Do you want to grow your market, your economy? And aviation is the key to market access. Owner manager syndrome, which afflicts our airlines today, has afflicted Nigerian rates. But having said that, the kind of national carrier we need, government must have equity, but it will be sweat equity. But we don't have a solid carrier there because of the policy. We need a strong environment that will encourage people to invest in this industry. The discussion also stressed the need for the federal government to give its national backing to consolidate the airline through airspace policy, since it represents the country's interest. In Abuja, Abdulmalik Adio, NTA News.
In another development, the House of Representatives has adopted a motion on the need for the federal government to commence the exploration of water transportation as an alternative mode of transportation in Nigeria Considering the motion at Thursday's plenary, the House urged the federal government to complete the dredging of the lower river Niger. The House also adopted a motion moved by Representative Noor Dandara from Kano State on the urgent need for the House to advise resident doctors at the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital camp to call off their strike. The motion moved by Representative Shehu Saleh from Niger State on the urgent need for the federal government to also complete the reconstruction of Kotangua-Magajia Road was also adopted. The task of restructuring the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) into a lean, efficient and business-focused organization has commenced with management's approval of the retirement of 38 senior managers. The corporation explained that the downsizing which saw the exit of all senior managers who are due to retire between now and December 2016 is also a cost-saving measure. In a related development, the Group Managing Director, Dr. Manuel Ibe Kachiku, with the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari, has appointed new Group General Managers to man some of his divisions. The National Environmental Audit Report on the drying up of Lake Chad and the Special Report on the periodic checks on the activities and programs of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) for the period of 2008 to 2012 have been submitted to the National Assembly by the Auditor General of the Federation, Mr. Samuel Ukuan. The National Assembly correspondent, Kenneth Nani, reports that the Auditor General also expressed the hope that the recommendations therein will be implemented to the letter.
Explaining that the audit on the drying up of Lake Chad was carried out in line with the international best practices, Mr. Samuel Ukora says auditors from the Lake Chad Basin Commission countries, including Cameroon, Chad and the Niger Republic, with their counterparts from Nigeria, worked closely to come up with the report. He says the findings of the report shows that Lake Chad, which was about 25,000 square kilometers in 1960, is about 1,500 square kilometers presently, an indication that Lake Chad may dry up if urgent steps are not taken to address the situation, as Nigeria's portion of the lake is greatly affected.
There are farmers, fishermen, and of course they are using the water for other activities. And nobody will tell you we know the impact of that. So the whole message of this report is that the child is drying up and it should be saved.
On the activities and programs of the NDDC, the Auditor General says the report and findings are expected to solve the socio-economic challenges of the area. The Auditor General of the Federation also regretted the financial misappropriations in the activities of the Commission as reviewed by the audit report, especially the areas of awarded contracts, tax deductions and other transactions without appropriate and legitimate approval.
The audit committee also recommended that every fund illegitimately expended on activities of the Niger Delta Development Commission should be adequately recovered by the relevant authority. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nani, NTA News.
Our report just reaching out indicates that President Muhammadu Buhari has terminated the appointment of the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA), Alhaji Sanusi Adebayero. As stated by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, states that the termination of Alhaji Bayero's appointment is with immediate effect. He is to hand over the management of the NPA, Nigerian Ports Authority, and all government property in his possession to Abuja Abdullahi, who has been reinstated as Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority by President Buhari. He wishes him, Alhaji Bayero, well in his future endeavors. And we are on update on helicopter crash to Lagos at Demola Refinery Zone. Over to you, Demola.
Thank you, Femi. Good afternoon and welcome to Lagos. The bodies of the two missing passengers aboard the ill-fated helicopter which crashed into the lagoon at Oworoshoti Wednesday in Lagos have been recovered, bringing the total number of dead bodies to 6. NEMA spokesman Ibrahim Taylor told NTA News that the recovery was done at 10 a.m. earlier in the day after an intensive overnight search and rescue operations at the accident scene.
Effort to recover the two remaining bodies yesterday we didn't succeed, but this morning we got additional hands, especially the local divers. We had about 13 of them or 14 who went in with their padded canoe and speedboats. We succeeded in rescuing the last two people on board. So far we have about 6 of them rescued alive and 6 recovered dead.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority will later in the day brief newsmen on the unfortunate incident where the manifest of the passengers aboard the ill-fated helicopter is expected to be made public. Details of the update and the briefing will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletins. The President's directive on environmental cleanup of Ogoniland has been described as a significant step by a leader who is fully committed to the good life of the citizens. This was disclosed by the All Progressives Congress Publicity Secretary Alhaji Lai Mohammed while briefing newsmen in Lagos. Balaji Akin completes the story.
APC National Publicity Secretary Alhaji Lai Mohammed noted that the environmental pollution in Ogoniland has gone beyond ordinary. This, according to him, has significantly affected the social and economic life of people of Ogoniland. He described President Buhari's directive on the cleaning up of the area as a major step that will turn around the life of the Ogoni people.
Action of the President transcends all the needless arguments about the appointments so far made by him, because this action touches directly on the well-being of the long-suffering people whose farmlands, drinking water, homes, and sense of living have been deeply affected by the hydrocarbon pollution.
Alhaji Lai Mohammed berated past administration for doing nothing or little towards the oil spillage in Ogoniland.
It is important that despite the urgency stated in the UNEP report on the need to implement the recommendations, the Nepal's government did nothing beyond establishing the hydrocarbon pollution restoration project in 2012, a full year after the report was submitted, and then leaving the agency to rest the will.
He said President Buhari's directive has shown that he is not just the president of those that voted for him, but for the whole country. In Lagos, Bolaji Akin, NTA News.
Nigerian youth have been urged to make use of their talents for the benefit and development of the nation. This was the focus of messages of speakers at a forum organized by the United Nations Information Center in collaboration with some non-governmental agencies to mark the International Day of the Youth. Tunde Saiki has the report.
The International Day of the Youth is celebrated on the 12th of September every year. It is a day set aside by the United Nations to discuss strategies for addressing pertinent economic, social and political issues affecting the youth. It also provides a forum to empower them with requisite knowledge, skills and tools to enable them make a difference in the society.
It is the federal government, the state government, the private sector, the religious organizations are doing something, but all of us should be involved to make sure that the young people are really using their energies positively. Youth should be engaged politically, they should be engaged economically, and they should be engaged socially.
To inspire more young people to rise up, and I'm totally convinced that as a result of them hearing their peers doing exceptional things.
Some panelists at the event took turn to explain how they were able to utilize their talents to change the environment.
And encourage students beyond academic level. How can you achieve excellence as individuals?
In helping them find out what exactly they want to do and give back to their society.
This year marked the third since the United Nations commenced the celebration of Youth Day worldwide. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Medical practitioners have called on Nigerians to exercise caution in the purchase and usage of drugs. This sensitization campaign has unveiled disturbing practices among Nigerians. Special Unity in quest to find out the medication culture prevalent among Nigerians came up with these findings.
With the number of healthcare delivery systems spread across the nation, it is disturbing to note that a significant number of Nigerians indulge in self-medication.
It has been alleged that most Nigerians are inclined to patronize the nearest pharmaceutical outlet at the instance of a perceived or real ailment. Why is this so prevalent? You're about to find out.
They are thinking that maybe when they get to a doctor it will be too much for them. That is why some of them they decided to go to Abuja or to go to all this pharmacy to get some paracetamol to take, which is very bad.
Those of us in the community practice, we see a lot of things. We see people abuse the codeine product. Anything with codeine, people want to use it.
While some Nigerians have presumably gotten away with the self-medication trend, practitioners warn that self-medication, if unchecked, can lead to far more damaging effects and consequences.
When you buy a drug as small as paracetamol and you take alcohol, it can increase the tendency of people having things like liver damage and kidney damage.
The problem is sometimes people stop taking the treatment because they feel better after 24 hours.
The issue of quacks and fake drug peddlers are also of major concern.
So many people are selling medicine that do not know about this medicine, and therefore who again is going to face the problem? Is the member of the public.
As practitioners have advised, seeking professional help remains the gateway to preserving your life. In Lagos, Sakla Wilkie, NTA News.
Nigerians have been urged to make the best use of every position they find themselves and contribute to the growth of the nation. The immediate past chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Usman Jibril, made this remark at a validity dinner in Lagos. Annie Daniels has the details.
Representatives of principal staff officers, various flag officers, general officer commanding, chief of defense staff, minister of defense, air force commanding, as well as invited guests. The immediate past chief of the naval staff, Vice Admiral Usman Jibril, urged officers of the Nigerian Navy to remain committed and patriotic in the discharge of their duties.
To remain relevant and earn the respect of the Nigerian people, I want to urge all of you to shun temptation and complexity in fighting economic crimes against our dear nation.
On his part, the new chief of the naval staff, where Admiral Ibok Ibas, said that though the task ahead is challenging, he determines to take the Nigerian Navy to greater heights.
I am determined to improve on the achievements with commitment and perseverance of officers as well as our ratings. We shall take the Nigerian Navy to greater heights and make her the pride of the nation.
Vice Admiral Usman Jibril was commissioned as lieutenant of the Nigerian Navy on 1st January 1982. He headed several posts in the force and was promoted to the rank of Vice Admiral by former President Goodluck Jonathan. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
And that does it from Lagos. Is back to you, Femi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Ademola. And we'll still be talking on security matters. The Inspector General of Police, Solomon Ayako, has tasked officers and men of the Nigerian Police, especially those at border towns, to devise new strategies to fight criminal elements, particularly cattle and armed robbery. The Inspector General of Police also re-emphasized the need for the police to secure the nation from foreigners. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports.
Represented by the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of logistics and supply, Mohamed Ibrahim Sapi, the Inspector General of Police said Katsina's police command is strategic on the ongoing efforts to rid the country of criminal elements. He said the Nigerian police is in a position to tackle the nation's insecurity challenges effectively, warning them against corruption, indolence and indiscipline. While in Katsina, the Deputy Inspector General of Police paid a courtesy visit to Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari, who was represented by State Deputy Governor Maria Kumu. The team was also at the residence of the former Inspector General of Police, Alhaji Ibrahim Ahmed Kumasi, where he solicited their support and cooperation in overcoming security challenges in the state. This is the first time in the immediate past when we had elections and police were openly commanded. Even the United States of America commanded the police to conduct themselves very well and ensuring peace. In Katsina, Mr. Ibrahim Maraba, NTA News.
The federal government has established Information Communication Technology Center in Daura as part of efforts to bring internet access to rural dwellers. The center is to see high demand of internet services, particularly to students seeking for admission into tertiary institutions in the country. Correspondent Awal Halilu has more.
As the initiative of the National Information Technology Development Agency, the center is to bring information technology to the doorsteps of rural dwellers. Katsina State benefited from the initiatives in which two ICT centers were established in Kusada and Daura local government areas. Commissioning the project in Daura, Governor Aminu Bello Masari, represented by his deputy Manur Yakubu, said the establishment of the center will open up more opportunities to the benefiting communities.
With the current wave of globalization, we find and technology of the 21st century.
The Director General National Information Technology Development Agency, Mr. Peter Jack, said the centers came into being following directives by the Federal Ministry of Technology to ensure total coverage of the country with internet services. He said so far the agency has covered more than 96% as against 68% between 2011 to 2014. Mr. Jack called on the benefiting communities to take advantage of the program to remain literate in the world of information communication technology. The Emir of Daura, Umar Farooq Umar, commended the federal government for providing the facility in his domain. In Katsina, Awal Haliru, NTA News.
And in some religious matters, now the 2015 Hajj media team has been urged to contribute to the improvement of quality service delivery in Hajj operations by providing relevant information. Chairman of the Commission, Abdullah Mukhtar, made the plea at a meeting with the team in Abuja. Alituku reports.
The meeting is organized to enable members of the team interact and develop modalities for disseminating the 2015 Hajj operation in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. Represented by Dr. Saleh Okewa, the chairman of the commission, says for a Hajj operation to be successful, there is need for all stakeholders to work closely in order to tackle the challenges which may arise due to the dynamic nature of the spiritual exercise.
The National Health Commission of Nigeria is doing so many things to see to the success of this Hajj operation.
We're here to interact, professionally speaking, look at the challenges we have been facing years back, and then provide a solution on how to be more scientific in information dissemination.
The team plans to take advantage of the social media in educating pilgrims and reporting the Hajj process. In Abuja, Alituku, NTA News.
In another development, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Mr. John Kennedy Opara, has challenged intending family pilgrims to Israel on good conduct while in the Holy Land. Mr. Opara gave the charge at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja shortly before takeoff of the pilgrims for the Holy Land. He also charged them to pray for Nigeria while in the Holy Land.
As families, as youth, and so many others going to the state of Israel, Israel is a very special place. And when you go, make sure you represent our country, Nigeria. Pray for your families, pray for your state, and pray for the president of this country. And above all, pray that the Lord of hosts will take Nigeria to where He has prepared us to be.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission says the expertise is at no cost to the state and the federal government as all the families are sponsoring themselves. The family pilgrimage, which is the third in the series, is meant to encourage families to visit holy sites in Israel. We are watching nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. The news will continue shortly after the break. Please don't go away.
Nine Ultimate Hotels, Abuja. The ultimate place to be.
Television College is the sale of admission forms into its 2-year diploma programs in television journalism, television production, and television engineering for 2015-2016 academic session. Fully qualified candidates are to obtain the forms at NTA Television College and all NTA at the cost of 7,500 naira only. Payment should be made with bank draft in the name of NTA Television College Joe. The closing date for the purchase and submission of application forms has been extended to 1st August 2015. For more information, please call 0803 94 1444 or 0806 9807. You can visit our website on www.ntatvc.com. Announcer, Registrar, NTA Television College George.
Community Partnership Approach to Internal Security and Crime Management. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, host, Inspector General of Police Solomon Arasi, Royal Father of the Day and Keynote Speaker, Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar III. Date, August 17, 2015. Time, 9 a.m. prompt. Venue, International Conference Center, Abuja.
Yesterday to nationwide and the officials of the International Science Technology and Innovation Center for South-South Cooperation under the auspices of UNESCO and Korean have visited Federal University of Technology, Minna, preparatory to the upgrading of engineering technology in the West African region. The effort is aimed at institutionalizing engineering technology among developing countries to meet up international standards. Manso Damian Deity reports.
And institutionalized among developing countries so as to meet up international standards and also enjoy job mobility and practice of engineers within the South-Side countries. These, among other issues, necessitated their visit to Nigeria to interact with students of the School of Engineering and Engineering Technology as well as assess available training facilities. During the session, the team identified infrastructural development as the engine of growth in South countries through the South-Side Cooperation to ensure that institutions in developing countries produce quality engineering graduates, ensure infrastructural maintenance and professional development, as well as design programs to upgrade students' practicals to meet world's best practices.
The engineering education qualification of Nigerian universities must be acceptable to the other country. That means we have a common international standard. Given the opportunity, we can actually get this country to great heights.
We try as much as possible
proposal for the establishment of a consortium of organizations for development of engineers in the South Coast to institutionalize ISTIC, UNESCO, and FEAIP initiative has also been made, according to Professor Dr. Lee. In Mina, once again Mbaki, NTA News.
Nigerians have been called upon to support the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in order to bring sanity and the management of national economy. National Coordinator Buhari Friends Organization Network will be called at the South Zonal Rally Against Corruption in Nigeria. It was held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. Abuja reports.
National Coordinator Buhari Friends Organization Network Atanashi Jokun noted that the anti-corruption rally is to promote the culture of discipline, rule of law, accountability and transparency, as well as encourage citizenship participation in governance. He said the organization is also to bring to the knowledge of government and her agencies the real needs and aspirations of the people, which will chart a way forward for the country.
We will come together and we follow a synergy together. Otherwise, this type of war will never be suppressed.
State coordinators and other members from the South Zone who participated in the rally said the aim of the event has been achieved as it was held to sensitize the public on anti-corruption.
Everybody is saying no to corruption and indiscipline. Corruption in Nigeria is going to stop one and for all.
Buhari Friends Organization Network is a registered body in the Buhari Support Organization advocating for a better society. In the way, Yoruba NTA News.
Largest market in Osogbo gutted by fire. Let's join Nigerian by the Network Center for details of these, plus other stories making rounds from Balound. Hello Dauju, it's over to you.
Hello Femi, good to see you. Good evening and welcome to Ibadan. The popular Atakumosu market in Ilesha, Osun State has been gutted by fire. Correspondent Adini Itaiwo reports that goods worth over 500 million naira were destroyed by the inferno.
The new sprawling Atakumosu market in Ilesha now lies in ruins, and its ugly site is infiltrated by emotional outburst from human victims. 2 days on, smoke first odors from the embers of gunshots and roofs set to the roof half a million naira, and the mysterious fire left in its wake. The way that I'm here now, I can't explain myself better, but I know that I work more than 9.5 million because I've started my job since 20 years ago. There are some people that even the fire didn't get to their shop, but there are some thieves, there are some people that they are trying to help them, that they are saying they want to try to help them to break the shop, to bring those things out. They were just stealing everything. The fire, which was said to have started around 5:30 at the main section of the market, spread to other parts, requiring every attempt by firefighters to put it out. Apart from the firefighting force in Ilesha, 2 other ones brought from Ife and the Osogbo commenced raging fire. Already, officials from Atakumosu local government were at the market to collect data and victims. Atakumosu is one of the major commercial centers in the state, very popular among traders from within and outside the state. From Ilesha, Adini Itawo, NTA News.
The governorship election petition tribunal in Oyo State has progressed after the pre-hearing of the petition filed by their core-party flag bearer, Senator Rashidi Ladoja, against the victory of Governor Abiola Ajimobi. Correspondent Olumide Guntola has the updates.
At the hearing of the petition, lead counsel to Governor Abiola Ajimobi, Wole Olalipeko SCN, made 2 motions, paid for extension of time, and that all of his application be moved outside pre-hearing conference. In his submissions, Wole Olalipeko SCN explained that objections by the petitioner's counsel is misplaced, adding that their written addresses were not properly signed, authorless, and lacks identifiable counsel. However, petitioner's lead counsel Richard Ogbowole SCN urged the tribunal to dismiss their prayers in the interest of justice, to give room for proper hearing, as most of their arguments are based on sentiment.
Because of the time, shortness of time, we will hear it during the hearing of the substantive case.
suspension of time within which he should file his additional witness requisition to bring in the report of the inspection exercise conducted at Atanet has been granted.
Tribunal Chairman Mohammed Mayaki, who declared the plenary conference closed, granted the respondent counsel additional 7 days to respond to the over 2,000 pages report of the petitioner on the outcome of joint inspection of election materials in Ibadan. Unde Gotola, NTA News.
It was a delightful moment for heads of finance of NTA stations and management of NTA Ibadan Network Center as they gathered at the gala night to end the Heads of Finance and Chief Accountants Conference held in Ibadan. Correspondent Shola Wahid has the details.
The gathering defied cadre and structure as the NTA staff unwind in the serene atmosphere of the evening. The Executive Director of Finance and Administration, Philip Ofebu, the General Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, Pauline Ibano, and other top management staff of NTA expressed their joy for the smooth conduct of the conference, which culminated in the gala night.
Every member of my team that are here, I really have a wonderful time. You could see a lot of people relaxing today. I really enjoyed the effect of the dance floor. So we hope that we have achieved that purpose for them to stay and to enjoy music.
And thank you to NTA Ibadan Network Center. They have been very wonderful since we came here. After debiting accrediting, I'm here enjoying myself.
A very long time I have been to Ibadan, and what I see this time around is quite a different thing, a different Ibadan.
High point of the event was comedy presentation, cultural display, and drama presentation, among others. In Ibadan,
The late Ooni of Ife, Oba Okunade Sijuade, has been described as one of the greatest Nigerians that ever lived, considering his contributions to national development and Yoruba land. Here is a tribute to the late Ooni as packaged by correspondent Laide Abbas.
Born to the royal family of Ogboru House in Ilawe, Ile-Ife on the 1st of January 1930, Oba Okunade Sijuade had his elementary and post-elementary education in Abeokuta and later moved to Oduduwa College, Ile-Ife, before proceeding to Northampton College in United Kingdom to study business management. The wealth of experience, exposure, and other qualities required of a traditional ruler in a pluralistic society enhanced his prominence in the second phase of his life that began on December 6, 1980, when he ascended the throne of his ancestors as the 50th Ooni of Ile-Ife.
Is someone who does not want people to suffer. Is someone who is passionate about Yoruba land. Ooni combines all of these three. He has that uniqueness, all these three qualities: character, competence, and intellectual capacity.
His style of rulership is said to have impacted positively on the town.
This scholarship came to indigent students for degree, first degree, and for masters.
With the transition of Oba Okunade Sijuade, the Yoruba race, and indeed the entire Nigerian populace eagerly awaits the selection of the next Ooni of Ile-Ife, Arole Oòduà. From Ile-Ife, Olaide Abbas, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from NTA Ibadan. It's back to you, Femi, in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Daojo, the Special Advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Femi Additional, has presented a book on the reportage of 2015 elections to the public. The Special Advisor gives the media a comeback that says more needs to be done. Correspondent Gabriel Odu have more.
This is good for the media, and I recommend that every stakeholder
every professional individual through this, and it's important that we keep it in the hands of everyone so that we learn from what happened at the 2015 elections, and it can improve our profession, it can improve our act. So it's my pleasure to present this book to the glory of God and for the good of the media profession.
That is the formal presentation of the reportage of the 2015 elections, a monthly scorecard of print and online media in Nigeria. There is lots of work for us to be done, but that we believe that the Nigerian media and journalists are quite capable of improving their standard of reporting of elections in this country. Speaking on ethics in reporting, looking into the future, Professor Musa Owens Igie of Caleb University says ethics is an interrogation and should be checked. The idea is to now come together to look at more inclusive mechanisms for bringing together all the stakeholders and ensuring that individuals who function within the media arena actually implement the letter. The reportage also recommended equitable coverage of all political parties, gender-responsive coverage, language and hate speech, among others. The reportage of 2015 elections sponsored by the UNDP Busy Project and other development partners was put together by the Nigerian Press Council and the International Press Fair. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
I'm moving over to our network center in Kaduna where Amin is waiting with updates on the demolition of private structures built on public premises, as well as other stories from that zone. Amin, it's over to you.
Good evening and good afternoon. In a bid to ensure food sufficiency in the country, the National Agricultural Seed Council has embarked on a nationwide inspection of agricultural seeds aimed at quality control. Correspondent Benny Adams reports on the activities of the inspection team in Kaduna and environs.
And its consequences have compelled governments to intensify efforts towards enhanced food production and expand citizens' access to food. Hence the nationwide seed inspection embarked by the National Agricultural Seed Council. There is now zero tolerance for fake and adulterated seeds. So we are all out, all over the 6 geopolitical regions in Nigeria to make sure that the food market is clean off of adulterated and fake seed dealers, so that the genuine seed dealers are the ones that remain in the system, and Nigeria farmer can get good quality seed and enhance food production. The inspection in Kaduna and Zaria showed a high level of compliance as previous defaulters are now selling the original and certified seeds to farmers. We need them to encourage the producers so that they improve their seed. Though a few defrauders were found, and as they claimed ignorance, they were enlightened by the inspection team. It was also observed that most seed dealers stored their seed side by side with fertilizer, which experts say reduces the potency of the seeds. In Kaduna, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The Kaduna State government has marked structures alleged to have been built on premises belonging to public schools and hospitals in the state. Correspondent Ibrahim Bellagunda reports that these structures were marked for demolition with the aim to recover the lands.
Affected structures on land reserved by government for expansion of public institutions like schools, hospitals and their staff quarters. Structures erected in the premises of Wimi College, Government College and other public schools as well as hospitals in Kaduna were marked for demolition by the state government to recover the land. A recovery notice issued by the state government advised owners of the marked structures to provide necessary documents within 7 days. Failure to do so will result in demolition of such structures. Some property owners marked for demolition interviewed said they acquired them legally from previous administrations many years ago with proof of ownership.
It was sold out. It was that all the landlords on this street did not get. You know the previous administration that did this. We have the valid papers given to us by the permanent secretary
We didn't buy it from somebody. It was allocated. We feel really demoralized, and our spirit is weakened. Ask them to take on fight and so on. I think it will be better.
We're acting on the recovery exercise. Special assistance on media and publicity to Governor Nasser El-Rufai, Samuel Arwan said land recovered will be used to expand government institutions to meet present needs of citizens.
Those who have valid titles will get compensation. But for those who have no valid title, it is a clear issue. Government will assist people to formalize and register the title to their land so they can have security.
The exercise is expected to continue in all the 23 local government areas of the state. In Kaduna, Ibrahim Belogunda, NTA News.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of logistics, Mamman Ibrahim Chafe, said the Nigerian Police Force is committed towards restoring primacy of the Nigerian police in addressing crimes across the country. The Deputy Inspector General of Police was speaking while on an inspection tour to Kaduna State Police Command. Correspondent Gadwa Muhammad Natala completes this report.
Accompanied by the Commissioner of Police, Kaduna State, alongside senior officers of the State Command, the Deputy Inspector General of Police noted that the visit aimed at re-strategizing plans in addressing crime, as well as critically look into issues affecting the performance of the police, saying it is part of efforts in restoring people's confidence in managing crime as well as enhance national security. We have even visited the commitment of every member of the Nigerian Police Force to ensure better service delivery. We have also set ourselves to find that, look, we must be committed to the policing of this country for safety and security. DIG Mamman Ibrahim Chafe, who is also the head of logistics and supply, said the visit is also in line with Inspector General of Police directive towards improving the welfare of the police. He, however, cautioned them to reciprocate the gesture by adhering to the ethics of the Prophet. Crime is changing, and it is a challenge to all of us. We must adapt to the changes. We must be intelligent, and that we are encouraging the intelligent-led policy. Every policeman is an intelligent officer. Earlier, the Deputy Inspector General of Police inspected the State Command's quarter guard in Kaduna. Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
And that does it. Back to Femi for more on Nationwide. Thank you, Amin. It's time now to join Kalate Zorike on Global TV.
Reports say that the President of Guinea-Bissau has dismissed government cabinet, an action the President believes will do more than a simple reshuffle, which will not be sufficient to set the race between him and the country's Prime Minister. Still in political issues, Greece's ruling party moves towards a former stage. This is coming hours before rebel leftist lawmakers promise to vote against a new bailout deal to keep the country afloat. In Iraq, more than 50 people have been killed after a truck bomb exploded in northeastern Baghdad. The Sunni jihadist group has claimed responsibility for the attack. Similarly in China, two major explosions in a hazardous chemical warehouse have killed 44 people and injured more than 500 others. And police are investigating a new crime of cyber flashing after a commuter received an indecent image on her phone as she traveled to work. That is all on Global Tributes. Tomato Overlay, NTA News.
Of course, update, grassroots basketball development set to receive a boost in Abuja as anti-doping issues continue to be headline ahead of this month's World Athletics Championship in Beijing. Can no Magudiki have more?
Over 200 students drawn from various government secondary schools across the Federal Capital Territory are gearing up for the Maiden and Song Talent Basketball Clinic scheduled for August 22 at the Package B section of the Abuja National Stadium. Organizer of the clinic, 22-year-old American-based basketballer Ifeanyi Onyekaba, says the program is aimed at promoting the sport at the grassroots. So through Song Talent Basketball, they will have the opportunity, and also the talents will not be taken for granted. The talents will be discovered. Men's tennis world number 3 Andy Murray reached the third round of the Rogers Cup in Canada after a 6-4, 7-5 win over Spaniard Tommy Robredo. Should Murray reach the final in Montreal, he will replace Swiss Roger Federer as number 2 in the world rankings. Meanwhile, Rafael Nadal made an encouraging start to the hard-court campaign as the Spaniard recovered to defeat Sergei Stakhovsky 7-6, 6-3 on another day of weather trouble at the ATP Montreal Masters. Britain's double Tour de France champion Chris Froome has urged the International Association of Athletics Federation IAAF to follow cycling's lead and invest a lot of money into anti-doping. Although cycling has its drugs problems, but the ongoing doping allegations in athletics threaten to overshadow this month's World Championships in Beijing. The series of crises has not been helped by the fact that the IAAF is also in the midst of an election battle to replace long-standing President Lamin Diak with the two contenders, Ukrainian pole vault legends